New York, big city of dreams. New York, big city of dreams.
Mute whoever's in the back. All right. What's going on? This is Jaden from Knick Of Time Show. Here, give you that Knicks talk just in the nick of time. And it's time to talk about the Knicks draft news and the Knicks rumors. I hear an echo. I don't know who's playing it. Let's turn the echo down. But before we're going to talk about the show now, before we even get into the details of the show, let me introduce my guys. First and foremost is my man from the YouTube channel across the street. I call him the Raw Metaphor. Got a tan up in Florida, chilling. The Raw Hebrew Remnant. What's going on, Raw?
What's up, Jay Ellis? My man Ryan G is chilling.
All right. You already know who it is. You already said it. It's my man, the myth, the legend, the guy, the stats, and the facts.
Ryan G's in the building. There's a lot going on in Knicks Rumorville right here. Let's get to it.
Yeah, let's get to it. We all gonna talk about it. And shout out to my boy Rodney. Happy birthday to my boy Rodney. His birthday is today. Turned the big 4-0. So gunshots to my man Rodney. All right.
Big 40.
Let's go. Let's get it. All right, cool. Let's get into it. Man, let me tell you guys. Yesterday I was out. I was chilling with peoples. And news was flying. I was like, oh man, I need to do a show. Came back late. I was like, can't do a show right now. I gotta work. I gotta do all this. I hit my guys up. I was like, man, there's so much happening right now. I was trying to wait till draft day to do a show, but it seems like we have to do a show today. Are y'all down? And they was like, hell yeah, we down. Let's go. So we here, and we gotta start off hot. All right, we starting off hot. And the hot news right now is Jaden, Ivey, the Sacramento Kings. Rumors have been flooding the Knicks Twitter streets and the NBA streets that the Kings are not interested in drafting Jaden Ivey or even keeping their fourth pick. As of today, that's at least what they're saying to the world. And they've been entertaining teams to move that pick. The Knicks, the Pacers, the Wizards, just to name a few teams are interested in that fourth pick. And they've been talking to those guys. And we've been hearing rumors all week before, but you know who said it this time? Ian said it. And when Ian said it, he was like, it's time to lace it up. It's time to lace up the sneakers and get to work because it's game time now. Right? And it's been reported that the Knicks have talked about offering multiple first-round picks in a package for the number 4 pick, which presumably will be Jaden Ivey. And also, if you haven't been paying attention, Jaden Ivey has mentioned that there's a possibility he can go to the Knicks. So news is flying everywhere that New York Knicks can possibly get Jaden Ivey. But let's just talk about how do you feel about that? Roy, how do you feel about the Knicks, first of all, offering multiple picks for Jaden Ivey?
Well, I mean, look at it this way. The Knicks have 8 players, 24 or under.
Yeah.
So at some point, you're not going to need all of the picks you stockpile.
Yep.
And so I'm seeing, to me, I can understand the availability of this year's pick, of next year's Dallas pick, and we can't trade next year's pick our own because we'd be trading this year's, and then the 2024 first, or combination of 2 of those 3 and multiple seconds with some young players. Now, I look at Jaden Ivey as a young, prime Victor Oladipo. That's
right.
Him to me. So I'm looking at this and I'm saying, okay, if Victor Oladipo was sitting there and I knew in 2 or 3 years he would become who he was at his prime,
you take him.
Would I do this? And I said, yes, I would do this.
Absolutely.
So to me, it's worth doing it. I'm not expecting him to be Luka or Ja. I'm expecting him to be prime, so that prime Victor, because that's not the superstar dude, but that's like a top 30 in the league dude. So I would do it for that.
Yeah, and Victor Oladipo, I mean, like people's memories are kind of short. But Victor Oladipo was the man before his injuries. He was one of those guys. He was on the rise, and he was like, okay, he can be it. He can you can maybe start to see, well, can I build a franchise around this guy? I mean, it's not the question is it wasn't an absolute yes, but it was like, oh, I can see it. Right. And you know what I'm saying? It's one of those things. I can see it. So if you're comparing him to a guy in Victor Oladipo, yeah, I agree with you. Ryan, you have anything to add to that?
Yeah, this is the way I look at it because, look, the Knicks, especially throughout their draft history, the Knicks have been unlucky to really move into the top part of the draft. The only time we really had a top pick recently was when we were number 3 and we were able to get R.J. Barrett, which seems to be a good pick because R.J. Barrett looks like he could be at least a future all-star, potentially a future star, depending on where his development goes. So now you look at the Knicks roster, like Ross said, 8 players who are under 24 years of under 24 years of age. If you look at the majority of those players, all of those players are solid players. So it's like, do you want to really stay at 11 and draft another solid player, or do you want to actually bring in another dynamic player? I'm not gonna move off of my stance. I feel like, because I was clamoring for like a couple of years ago when LaMelo was there sitting at number 3, and I was like, the Knicks should just leverage the house on this dude because I see the dude as a potential star in the making.
Right.
And they didn't make the move on that deal. And now look, dude is killing it in Charlotte. And imagine if the Knicks did that for LaMelo a couple of years ago. That point guard position would have been sealed for the next 10 years for the Knicks.
We missed it.
So it's like, yeah. So to me, it's like if the front office views Ivey as a player that they see that if they draft this guy, he's a future all-star, future superstar. Knicks don't have to worry about the point guard position for the next 10 years. I feel like you pretty much trade whatever you can to get that kind of player. There's only a few players that are unmovable. If you can leverage some of those young players, throw in a future, a couple of future first round picks to get Ivey here, you do it. If you feel like that he is that guy that once you get him, that point guard position is sealed. You don't have to worry about that for the next 10 years.
Right. Nah, I feel you. The only thing I will say though is I don't like as of today, he's not a pure point guard. Like they didn't have the ball in his hands full time, which is why even I see some people saying they don't like the Victor Oladipo comp. I think Roy really said that because he's not like a primary point guard right now. That's not how they were using him. He flashed some playmaking skills at the end of his season, but not the whole time. So he's not a pure playmaker as of yet. Now, can he be? Of course he can. He hasn't really showed that he couldn't, but he hasn't showed that he could at 100% either. So that's why that guard comp has been given. Now, second of all, when it comes to trading up, you already know we talked about this a little bit, Ryan, and Walt Perrin we trust, man. Walt Perrin came over from Utah.
That's right.
Walt Perrin did his dizzle in Utah, man. 42nd. He drafted Paul Millsap, the 42nd pick. He drafted Davion Mitchell, and he moved up, and he also drafted Darren Williams. And I want to focus on Darren Williams and Davion Mitchell in particular, because
Donovan.
Donovan. I'm sorry. Donovan Mitchell and Darren Williams. I want to focus on those two. Okay. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Good catch, Ryan. Those two in particular, because those are the guys that he traded up for.
Yeah.
Those are the guys he traded up for. So if Walt Perrin is in the back, because some people are saying don't trade up, don't trade up. If you feel like the star is there and it's going to change the complexion of the team and you'll be able to run it back for years to come, you trade up. And if Walt Perrin, who's been right on these trade up deals, is giving us a seal of approval, I'm rolling with Perrin, man.
No, because that's why you get a back office with Perrin in it. That's why you do it, because of his record.
Exactly. That's why I do it, because of his record. So I want to do. He did it with Utah. He put it up for Darren Williams. Got I think the second or third pick from Utah. Changed the complexion of that team for years.
Yep.
For years. and this did the same thing for with Donovan Mitchell. So I in what parent we trust. To me right now, the question is that is trading up for Ivy realistic is another question.
The thing is, this is what I like about it, JL. This is what I like about it because, for example, you remember the Melo. Everybody remember the Melo trade, right?
Right.
So you basically dismantled your team that you carefully built to get him. You're not have to do that here. You're not going to have to do that. So even if we traded 2 of the youth, we still are not dismantling what we've built over the last couple of seasons. We still have that. Even if we were to give up 2 first, we still not like in purgatory for the next 10 years. We could give up what they would take and still maintain our trajectory going forward. So that's what I like about it. So they're not giving up 4 first rounders for them. They probably give up 2, maybe 3.
Right.
But I would do it. I would do it because, if Walt Parent says that this kid is that kind of guy, and you're giving up a Dallas pick that you got for KP, your number 11 this year, and then 2024, maybe an IQ or Grimes, I'm doing that. I'm doing that.
Yeah, and it hurts me to say it, but I would hate to lose him, but I would do it too, man. Like I would do it too.
I'm only going to hesitate on an OB or RJ. I'm not, because those are the guys you want Ivy to run with.
Right. I would I mean, you know me, I'm an IQ guy, so I would hesitate on IQ, but like I would try to push for another pick if anything. But like if it was a make or break deal, I would have to sleep on it and try to maybe Cam. But if it was a make or break deal, you had to put a gun to the head, I might still do it. The thing with IQ that I still love is that I like his shooting is so good. That's the only thing that's really. That's the one thing that's making me like, man, are we gonna mess up? Because not even mess up, but like when you have a guy who could potentially shoot from that far, it opens up the floor a lot. And and to me, like as far as playmaking, as of today, he's arguably our best playmaker despite his deficiencies, right? Like between him, RJ, and Derrick Rose. Like to me, the most go ahead passes have been from IQ and Derrick Rose. The most assists this early in his career has been IQ. So it'll be tough for me to give IQ. It'd be really tough. But I would have to consider it. Definitely consider it.
Well, I mean, to me, it's the shooting, right? So you got Grimes and IQ; they both can shoot.
Yeah.
So if you got it, you got to bring some to get some.
So I know.
So you're gonna have to give up one of them. And I'm thinking of it from the Kings' perspective. If I'm the GM of the Kings, you got to bring me one of them along with some picks for me to get up off this guy, because I got other teams that want to move up. So the Knicks, if it really comes down to it, the Knicks feel that this kid is worth that, because the Don is risk averse. He's not a big risk taker. So, and I like that about him. So
right.
If they really feel he's going to be leaning, I think, on Parent a lot here. Talk to me.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Man, is this kid worth it? Because it's a big move. This is the type of move that gets presidents fired.
Yeah.
Yeah, or gets him to resign.
Exactly.
Right.
Either or, but
yeah, exactly. And the thing is that with Ivy, like if you think he's gonna be that guy, those future first round picks, he'll make up for it, because right there's a future all-star, future superstar on your roster. So, those first round picks you're giving up, in the future, it's not gonna matter much with a player like that on your squad. And then on top of that, like, I know there's a possibility that IQ can go, Grimes can go, or, one of those guys go in that deal. But to be realistic about it, I think if the Knicks can pull some type of heist where they're able to trade up for Ivy and keep IQ, I do like a Jaden Ivey IQ backcourt idea in my head. Like, I do like them together, I think, in the backcourt, because they can share ball handling duties, they can share playmaking duties, and then on top of that, Jaden Ivey, I know he's working on his jump shot. It's a decent jump shot. It can
Right.
get better. But I do think that with shooters around him, he can even operate. He'll be able to operate even better. So I think keeping a guy like IQ, where IQ definitely has that range and can shoot the deep ball, I think that would benefit Ivy as well. So I mean, if the Knicks can work out a trade to where they can possibly keep IQ, I do like the idea of an Ivy IQ backcourt. But if he has to go, it is what it is. Because at the same time, it's like you have a bunch of young guys here. A few of them have to go. The only guys that are untouchable to me is like really RJ. Like you definitely have to keep RJ because he's a star potential player.
Yo,
Everybody else is pretty much
man,
up for grabs.
For me, if I had to choose, like, I love Grimes. I would choose to move Grimes only because of I love Grimes though. Like I love Grimes. This is not an easy decision to make, but I feel like it's easy out of everybody to replicate. I feel like it's easiest to replicate a 3-and-D guy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I feel like you can get 3-and-D guys in the draft or sign them the easiest. To me, we've been struggling with playmaking so much. Like I want to keep all the playmaking that we can have. And Obi it's obvious why I want to keep Obi, because I have a time limit on Randall. And I don't know if that ticking time bomb is gonna go off again, and if it does, I want to have a safety net in Obi Toppin. So that's obvious why I would like to keep Obi, and probably why most people would say the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
And to be honest too, I was shout out to CK, we talking about it online. He says he feels like Obi's gonna be involved, but I mean I don't see Obi and Sabonis playing together unless they're like, oh, we're gonna have him off the bench. You know what I mean? Then
Well, I mean, I could see Indiana wanting Obi. I could see that, but I don't see the Knicks giving up. I think Obi's off the table, and I tell you why, because I'm not sure on Randall. I'm not sure on Randall for multiple reasons. Obi's younger. He's on his rookie deal, and he showed he could play. He already showed he could play in the league. So, and they drafted him to be the starting power forward eventually. They weren't expecting Randall to be here like that. So I'm not giving up Obi. And plus, I'm getting a guy like Ivy, especially if I have to give up IQ to run with a guy like Obi.
Right.
Because now he's going to be able to do what IQ does in terms of finding Obi.
Right.
So, I mean, so now, you're going to have a dynamic team that can run. You put them guys out there together. So I'm thinking of the Kings. The Kings, if I'm the Kings, I would want either Grimes or IQ for different. IQ's coming off my bench to shoot. And I might start Grimes, if that's the case. So, and he gives me perimeter defense. So, I mean, I want one of those two. If I'm the Kings and you want to make a deal with me, we going to have that. We're going to have one of them two.
I mean, IQ is if we keep it real, IQ is the person they have the most intel on.
Yeah.
So, if you are the Kings, I can see them asking for IQ because we've seen him play the most out of anybody else. Grimes, he's shown stints, but he's an unknown. Obi, he can be better than IQ, but he's an unknown as well. So right. I feel like IQ and Grimes might be the primary targets. But it hurts more also reading Ian's articles and videos and them saying that people in the Knicks are pushing to have IQ have a bigger role next year. And along with Obi Toppin as well. But
I don't know how you would do that if they're keeping Julius Randle. How are you telling you're gonna get Obi a bigger role when you got Julius there?
I don't know. So you got to figure that out, man. We got to figure that out. And I want to get into another part of this conversation too. But let me get to these super chats. Shout out to everybody first in the chat who came here hungry for some Knicks talk. I'm glad you're here. Shout out to Jason M. Shout out to Vibe Shop, Still Dre, T. Williams, Fritz Alessandro, Ala Wise, Mike. Everybody else is rocking with the KOT show. Matthew Hatchett, Fundamentals. If you're new to the channel, please hit the subscribe button and like as well. I saw some of the graphics is starting to work. It's funny because I have there's a zombie running around when somebody ever donates, but I have a Nick graphic that's supposed to load and it doesn't load. But it is what it is. But I saw somebody just subscribe. Shout out to whoever just subscribed. And join Knicks Nation, join KOT Nation, and subscribe as well. All right. But first and foremost, shout out to Michael Parker who sends a $5 super chat. Gunshots to you, Michael Parker. His salute Knicks Nation. It's safe to say that no Nick is untouchable. To pull off this deal for Ivy, even RJ?
No.
If the
Just
Knicks want to keep
asking.
one guy, RJ, you have to try to keep. You have to try to keep RJ.
There's multiple reasons. He's the face of your franchise. If you trade the face of your franchise, you're just really giving up on your whole build. So no, I'm keeping RJ.
Right. Nah, I'm keeping RJ for sure. Brooklyn Butch sends a 499 super chat, says IQ has created a culture here with his work ethic, so he's not someone you want to let go. Young guns who are coming into the gym early with OB and others. Yeah, man. I feel you, man. Listen, if you look on my videos, I was mad excited over IQ last season in preseason when he outperformed Frank and Dennis Smith Jr. I was on the IQ hype train, so I understand the hype for IQ, man. I understand it. It hurts though. It hurts. The trade might not even happen, but it's hurt thinking about it. Go ahead, man.
Yeah, I just want to say one thing. Like, us talking right now, this is not us saying that, oh, we just want to trade everybody, whatever the case may be. We're talking from a realistic standpoint. If the Knicks are going to move up to get Ivy, the Knicks have to give up somebody. The Knicks cannot move up without giving up somebody.
That's right.
I love all the young players here. I'm just being realistic about it. That's all.
Right. People mention people in the trade, and they act like you don't like them. It's not that. If you think Ivy is going to be a star, you have to give up something. You're not going to get him for nothing.
Yeah, exactly. Like imagine the reverse. Imagine the reverse.
Right.
Imagine you're the
like you sit at 4 and you get ready to get Jaden Ivey. What you gonna give up for?
Right.
Yeah.
And then somebody tells you name some unnamed player and some second round picks. You're gonna hang up the phone and laugh. Like no one's even trading RJ for some unnamed and some second rounders, but y'all want everybody else for unnamed. Like to be realistic, you have to give up something for sure. Now, here's the interesting part of this conversation. Oh, before we get to this part, if you want to talk to us, I see Jason's is in the queue. All you gotta do is call in. Dial that number 319-527-6241 to talk some Knicks news and rumors. And right now we're talking about the biggest news of the week so far, which is the Knicks have offered some multiple picks to trade up for Jaden Ivey. And the deal hasn't been done. The Kings haven't accepted. So we're going to talk about that little wrinkle right now. All right. So cool. All right. So here's the other thing about this, right? There's other teams. That's the thing you have to realize. There's other teams that are offering things. So now, like, it's not just us. We are in competition.
That's right.
With what? The Pacers, the Hawks, and
the Thunder.
And the Thunder. Wait, are the Thunder? Oh Lord.
Yeah.
And Lord, and the Thunder. The Thunder are involved?
Yeah. I read about it. It's the Thunder, Hawks, Pacers, and Wizards.
Well, the Thunder can win that one, man.
Yeah, if the Thunder is in it, then I'm just waving the flag right
They got so many. They got so much draft capital. They got young talent.
Right.
Unless the Kings are asking for the second overall pick.
Why would they do that?
I don't know. They don't. Because what? Okay, so you got 2 and 12.
Right.
Yeah,
they got 2.
But they're talking about Thunder moving up from 12.
Right. So they would have to move 12.
So they would keep their top pick. They just want to move it from their other pick to 4. So they're trying to get they're number 2 right now.
Right.
They're number 2, so they would get number 2 and number 4. That's what the Thunder are trying to do.
So I can see them.
They can outbid us. There's no question they can outbid us. But does Jaden Ivey want to go to OKC?
Yeah, I can see them doing something like number 12, Dorte, Pokemon, and like 2 or 3 first. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm talking like it's only family here. So I excuse me. All right. So let me explain something to you guys, right? So KOT slang, right? When I say Pokemon, that's our nickname for Excuse me. I sound like Shaq on it. You know what I mean. That's why I call him Pokemon.
I know what you're talking about.
On the Thunder.
Alexei Pokushevsky.
Right. Alexei Pokushevsky. Yes. What he said. So
Just call that man Pika Pika.
yeah, Pika Pika. Now, if the Thunder is serious about that, then they might blow us. They might blow us out the water. I'm not even gonna lie. I'm not even gonna lie.
No, they got way more available. I mean, you're just talking about if they want. Let's say we're gonna trade Josh Giddey and 3 number ones. They could do that.
They could definitely do that and not bat an eye.
That's right.
Not bat an
Or
eye because they have
Trey
Shai
Man. Trey
Gilgeous
Man is
already.
good, man. They can trade Trey Man, Dort. They got some stuff, man, and they got plenty of draft capital.
Right.
Yeah, they do.
So
a whole boatload.
Yeah.
So if I'm the Kings, and I'm pretending I'm the Kings, and if I might ask for Trey Man, because we need some scoring off the bench. I might ask for Giddey and a 12th and a couple of firsts, and I can see OKC going okay.
Yeah, but here's the thing though, because what I read, what the Kings are looking for, they said the Kings are looking for an established vet.
Yeah.
2022 draft capital, future draft picks, and possibly a young player on top of that. Like, do the Thunder have an established vet that they can give up?
No,
not really.
they don't have the established vet. We, on the other hand, established vets. That's our game right there. If you want established vets,
we got Evan Fournier. What you want?
what you want? We got Evan Fournier. We got Alec Burks on the cheap, and you already know Alec Burks getting travel everywhere he go. I feel like hasn't he been in Sacramento too? He probably got a house there already. You know what I'm saying? Like that'll be an easy plug to get Alec Burks and some picks. I can see that. The teams I was kind of worried about the most before I even realized that Thunder was in the mix too was the Wizards because Kuzma, right? Right, Ryan? We talking about
earlier. Are they willing to give up Kuzma? I don't think so.
Yeah. I think for me it's getting Ivy they would, because I read an article from the Sacramento Bee written by one of their beat writers. And basically what he was saying was that the Kings were interested in trading for Kuzma during his last season with the Lakers. But the Lakers ended up sending Kuzma to the Wizards instead in a package deal for Westbrook.
right.
So they already have interest in Kuzma, and they were saying that for the Kings to probably even move off the number 4 pick to the Wizards, they would have to probably give up Kuzma, probably even Hachimura or Avija, plus the 2022 draft pick and future draft consideration. And then the beat writer said even that might not be enough.
What?
For the Kings to even accept that trade and trade away the number 4 pick.
Exactly. So if that's the case, it's like, all right. Here's the thing about the Kings, though. They could be playing chicken. They're in the driver's seat. They got multiple teams going after their pick. They could be playing chicken. Like that's
because Washington don't have no draft capital.
No,
definitely not.
They don't have draft
capital.
The
only team with draft capital besides us
is
I'm not talking about OKC. I'm talking about in that 5 to 10 range is the Pacers.
Right.
They got, and the Pacers already declined what the Kings. The Kings wanted the 6th pick and 2 firsts, and they said no.
Which is crazy to me, but
I know the Pacers said no. So I'm thinking, because look at it, like the Pacers have Halliburton. So I mean, they just got him. They're not going to let him go.
Right.
And of course, the Kings just traded him. So you got Halliburton and Duarte. Those are the 2 guys probably off the table for the Pacers.
Right. Exactly. Like if I'm looking like everybody else on the Pacers is injured outside of maybe Miles Turner. Like I can see them wanting Miles Turner, but are they willing to give? Are they willing to go with the Miles Turner money? Is the question. I'm not sure.
Yeah, well, from what I read today, the Pacers, I think it was either Mark Stein or I think it was Mark Stein. The Pacers are not going to look into anything with Turner until after July 1st.
Okay, got you.
So they're feeling like they want to deal Brogdon first.
Good luck with that one. We're gonna talk about that later.
yeah, they're trying to deal Brogdon first, but they want to deal with Turner later.
Right.
So I don't think that's going to happen. But I mean, to me, the Pacers are our biggest as far as trade value, as far as future assets, trade draft capital. They're our biggest comp to me. But the Hawks got John Collins. Yeah, John Collins, who's a stretch 4. So I don't know. We got to see. Like the only thing that kind of gives me a little solace in the Collins thing
is I read that the Kings have talked to the Hawks about Collins, but it's separate from the fourth pick.
Oh, okay.
So they might be
So
looking to get Collins
outside the fourth pick.
outside of the draft because he was the other person I was really worried about.
Yeah. So what the Hawks? Okay, so the Hawks are not interested in Ivy, or at least the Kings are not interested in trading him for Collins.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm not worried about them then.
Exactly. So I'm right. All right, cool. We're dealing with the Wizards, who we might be able to fight out with, or the Thunder, who will demolish us. That's what we're looking at. If the Thunder is really involved, that's an L, and the fourth pick is going to the Thunder. Then and that is what it is. But it's also been reported by Shams that the Kings are getting increasingly comfortable with keeping the fourth pick, and they might even think about drafting Keegan Murray. Now, like I said, all this news right now could be jockeying. It could be smoke screens to drive up the price. It could be that, or it could be true. Like we don't know.
But that was a couple of days ago when I heard when Ivey said New York, and then now it's coming out that his reps are saying he's politely telling Sacramento, I don't want to play for you.
Right.
So either they're gonna so now what? Now let me ask you, if it was you, right? You got this guy that you know there's at least 3 teams that want him badly. Okay. You could draft Keegan Murray and get nothing else, or you can draft Ivey, still get a lottery pick, get young players and a veteran.
I'm drafting Ivey. If I can get multiple first, I'm going to draft
That's
Ivey.
what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Right. If you go get so I'm not buying into them keeping it if he's already declared he don't want to play for them.
Right.
They're not gonna draft for Murray if that's all they're gonna get. I mean, as much as they might like him, if that's all they're gonna get, now Detroit gonna be in the same position. Okay, now you passing it to me, and now you gotta deal with me. It's the same thing.
Which is why it's been reported that the Knicks actually called Detroit.
Right. Look into what they feeling, because if Sacktown, and that puts pressure on Sacramento.
Yeah.
So now the pressure is, what we got to get something, or we could just get a player right now. We can get a Keegan Murray and nothing, or we can get multiple picks, and still get a lottery pick. Because at 11, they still might be able to get they're going to get a good player at 11.
Yeah, I mean, there's some decent players at 11, and maybe some steals as well. I mean, getting deep dives, and we've been trying to have conversations beforehand and not get too deep, because truthfully, sometimes it can be a show before the show start.
Yeah,
so we stopped the conversation before it got too interesting, so we can talk in front of y'all. But yeah, you're absolutely right. There could be some pieces at 11. But the pieces they're like what you said. It's like diamonds in the rough. You kind of really got to look. They could be solid pieces, or you can really hit and get one out the park. But it's gonna take some looking.
Yeah. And
I mean,
now
Griffin might fall to 11. Johnny Davis might fall to 11. So they're going to get one of them guys. They're going to get a couple of first rounders plus another young player like an IQ or a Grimes. Man, it's no brainer. You got to do that deal. If I'm the Kings, I'm doing that deal.
Right. So
yeah, most definitely. And also just to throw in something right quick, like there could be a situation where Ivey might drop to 6 when you think about it, because the Kings are packed in point guard right now. They have Davion Mitchell. They have De'Aaron Fox. There's really no space for Ivey.
If they do a dumb dude.
No, but wait. Let me finish.
Okay, go.
All right, so the Kings have De'Aaron Fox. They have Davion Mitchell. So that right there, that's 2 point guards right there. So again, Ivey is ill-fitting with the Kings. The Pistons already have their point guard of the future with Cade Cunningham. So right there, that tells you the Kings and the Pistons know that they're in a position where they can get something for those number 4, number 5 picks, because they know there's going to be teams out there, especially that's below them, that's going to want Ivey, where Ivey's not a big, is not a big want for them, because they already have their point guards as it is. So, they're going to definitely be in a bargaining position. That's why I feel like for a fact, either the Kings are going to move from number 4 or the Pistons are going to move from number 5. Either way, there's going to be a team moving up in those positions to get Ivy because I can't see the Kings drafting him. I can't see the Pistons drafting him.
That's it, but that's if you see Ivy as a point guard, because not everybody sees Ivy as a point guard because he's had off-ball success shooting the ball, especially catch and shoot. Not everybody really sees Ivy as a point guard.
He's not. I don't see him as a point guard. I'm not buying into him as the point guard solving guy.
Right.
But dynamic player that can kill you in multiple ways.
Right.
That will learn to play both sides of the basketball, and he could do spot minutes at point guard.
Right.
I would make it full, but that kind of guy, like I said, Victor Oladipo. To me, that's him. So if I could get a guy that's dynamic, and just think about it, if Victor Oladipo didn't hurt himself so badly, the Indiana Pacers would have been more serious contenders. Man.
Absolutely.
That messed them up. So with the team that we have and what we're putting together, if we could, like I said, especially with RJ, if we get an Ivy, we get Obi, and we keep Mitch Rob, you got a basis for.
Yeah, man. I think so too, man. I think so too. And the only reason I mentioned he's not a point guard is because if he goes to Detroit, like I can see him being off ball and running as a starting backcourt in Detroit. That's the only reason why I mentioned that.
Right.
I don't know, me, like I know he can play off the ball, but I just feel like the team that drafts Ivy, they're gonna try to transform him into a point guard.
Yeah, they're gonna try. They might try.
Yeah, that's what I believe.
Okay, got you.
I mean, that's like, would you try to transform Anthony Edwards into a point guard?
Not really. I mean, he's a scoring guard, but I think Minnesota would like it if he did do some playmaking along with his scoring, though.
Yo, salute to you guys, man. All right, I'm gonna get to these super chats and then I'm gonna get to the phone lines. So first of all, let's get these likes up. It's not 351 people in the chat and 90 likes. It's looking kind of light. So please let's get these likes up real quick and read off these super chats. All right. So first, shout out to Big Reaper who sends a $20 super chat. Gun shouts to Big Reaper, says, I don't know, man. Ivy's talented, but I like Johnny Davis more.
Yeah, I like Johnny Davis at 11, boy.
Yeah, I like Johnny Davis at 11.
That's about it.
He was at 11. I mean, and he fell to us. I'm not gonna cry about it, but you telling me he's better than Ivy out here?
Yeah, the thing we talked about this a little bit before. The thing about Johnny Davis is his lack of athleticism.
Right.
You're not sure what's going to translate to the NBA. He might get to the NBA and be okay. He might get to the NBA and be okay. So you don't ever know. But the type of athleticism that Ivy has, you already know that's going to translate no matter who's in front of him. But but with Johnny Davis, I love his work ethic. I love his two-way scoring. I love his creativity, all of that. But it can work or not. It's like really hit or miss for me. That's what I mean.
He's elite. Ivy has. I'm not saying all of his game, but in terms of athleticism, he's on that Anthony Edwards level. I mean, prime Victor. He's got that type of athletic ability. He has just got that gear, man. Like Westbrook, a lot of people like to compare him with. He's just got that next gear that not many people have at all. I'm like, or like John Wall before all the injuries when he came out of Kentucky.
Yeah.
He's got that kind of gear speed, man. And and of course he's got enough skills to make that legit.
Right.
And if he can develop even more, that's why you trying to look at a guy.
That's why you look at a guy like that. Because his athleticism would put so much pressure on opposing teams' defenses that it will have no choice but to open up things for the Knicks. And he's not the perfect guard, perfect point guard, but the one thing I've seen that he does do is collapse the defense and kick it out. I know he can do that.
Yep.
That's it. All right. Next, we got a $2 super chat who says Ivy isn't Scoot Henderson. This is so silly.
Ivey's not what?
Scoot Henderson.
And who the hell's that? No, I'm just.
Scoot Henderson is not Ivy. That's what he said.
Oh,
I don't know.
I'm just saying. I don't know. Is that a street legend? Is that a playground legend? No, I don't know. But
I don't know. I don't know. I missed the reference.
Like Williams or something. I don't know.
I was hoping one of y'all would tell me.
I mean, I'm looking up. Scoot.
Yes. Ryan's with the stats and the facts. Let's get the Googles going. Find out who Scoot Henderson is.
You like Pee Wee Kirkland or what?
Yeah.
I don't know if he's referring to, because there's a guy in the G League called Scoot Henderson.
Oh.
I don't know if that's the guy he's referring to at the moment.
I have no
idea. But I mean, it's a dude that averages 24 minutes a game, 14 points, 43% field goal percentage, 70% from three.
How much?
17%.
17.
You say 7-0 or 1-7?
1-7.
1-7.
Oh, the sharpshooter.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, I
5
see.
rebounds a game.
Okay.
I don't know if that's Scoot Henderson he's referring to, but yeah, Ivy definitely ain't that.
Nah, he's not that. You're right.
Definitely not that.
You're right. Fight Bet with Kick says, since it's $5 super chat, so shout out to you. Says, we as Knicks fans gotta stop doing this, fielding these pipe dreams and focus on who we getting at 11. No way we get a talent like this.
Man, catch up, please. Don't be like Mustard. Catch up. Come on.
Listen, man, if Ian Begley didn't report it,
that's what I'm saying.
I wouldn't be talking about it.
This ain't Mustard. Catch up, baby. Come on.
Yeah, because it might be a rough trade up. And that's why I talked about all the scenarios that could happen and everybody's in the way and obstacles. I talked about all that for that reason. But Ian Begley talked about it, which means if Ian Begley talked about it, that means the Knicks are serious.
No, for real. And even if we hit and miss, the fact that we're in the conversation on a serious level, man, we're in the game here. This is big time. This is big time, man. So this ain't no pipe dream. This ain't like Jordan's coming to the Knicks or LeBron's coming to the Knicks. This is real deal, man. There's a lot of smoke in here and there's fire.
Right, but the Thunder though, that Thunder team might be different.
True.
That's kind of worrisome, right?
Yeah, that's worrisome.
If you're the Kings, I might be really asking for Shai Gilgeous-Alexander.
Of course, you're gonna ask for more.
Yeah, I want SGA, and I'm gonna pair him with that'll be the Kentucky backcourt. Oh my God.
Yeah, but that's gonna be the most non-shooting backcourt. I get it though.
Yeah, you're right though. You're right.
I get it.
You're right.
I mean that definitely has the potential to be a dynamic backcourt though. Definitely has the potential.
It does. Just pack the middle. Just everybody pack the middle, guys. Okay. So Michael Parker says another $5 says, after thinking a bit longer on trying to get Ivy, I'm inclined to believe that RJ must be included to pull this deal off. Nah. Not doing it. I knew that's where Mike was going. He just tried to slow walk the dog into it. He sent $5 say include RJ, and then another $5 say, you know what? Throw him in there. I already knew he was going, but nah, I'm not with it. Jay Boogie says a $20 super chat. Shout out to Jay Boogie.
Boogie.
He just said what's up. I just want to support. So shout out to Jay Boogie.
Oh man, he did the right.
Yeah, that's what's up, man.
Not even a question. Shout out to my guy Jay Boogie. Oh yeah, don't worry, Jay Boogie. You can call in the phone lines. I know you're always asking. The phone lines are open, Jay Boogie, if you want to call in. Jean Mark sends a $10 which has to explain why Knicks fans are willing to give up multiple first round picks and rotation players for an unproven rookie.
Just go for the fifth time on this.
All right, I talked about it earlier. I talked about this early in the show. Why maybe he wasn't here yet. Why I'm comfortable with it. Walt Perrin, who was the man for the Utah Jazz, has a very good track record when it comes to drafting. Paul Millsap at 42. Donovan Mitchell. He traded up for Donovan Mitchell. He also traded up for Darren Williams, and those two teams set the Utah Jazz up for years to come to be knocking on playoff doors, contender doors for years to come. So if Walt Perrin has his seal of approval that he believes in these guys, to me, that's enough for me to go, you know what? Walt has been right 2 huge times and set up his franchise for multiple years with a franchise player. I will trust him to do with the Knicks, and that is why, sir, I'm willing to give multiple first rounds if Walt Parent is approved. Because if you really think about it, when we look at how many first round picks have the Knicks picked that turned into an all-star?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Not many.
Not many.
Not many. So like you get multiple at bats to hope to get an all-star. And we have a lot of good players right now. And to me, at 11, it seems like no all-stars, but good players. If you have a chance in an all-star and you feel like this is the guy, you go get him. $1 is worth more than 4 quarters in the NBA. So
That's
if
right.
he believes he's $1, you go get him.
That's right.
Yeah, and I just want to add something too, because I understand the whole, just keep the ship steady, keep drafting, don't give up assets to move up in the draft for an unproven rookie, whatever the case may be. But the thing is, the Knicks can continue to do that, but if you're gonna keep drafting solid, that's not gonna move the needle in any way. It's not like the Knicks are gonna keep drafting at number 11, number 13, number 14, number 15, and that's gonna shift the needle. There has to come a time when a risk has to be taken.
Right.
That if you want to get the Knicks a player that's going to shift that needle tremendously. And if you feel like that player is the player that's going to shift that needle tremendously, then you have to take that risk.
Right. So, and that's why.
This is a good player to do it on if you're going to do it,
Yeah. It's a good player to try it on. And
yeah. And it ain't going to, like I said, it's not going to crush, it's not going to clear our coverage. We still going to have talent. We just got to give up some to get some, though. But
right.
It's a good risk. To me, this is a good calculated risk.
It's calculated risk. In life, you got to take calculated risk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Another $5 super chat. And then we're going to get to the phone lines. Shout out to Parrish Duggars, who sends another $5. Says, why are we being impatient with this group? Keeping them together now that they had a season to learn and train together. Trade the 13th and 15th and chill. And he also sends another $5 super chat that says, Scoot Henderson will be the number 1 pick if eligible. Are y'all serious? Watch him on the team Ignite with Dyson Daniels. YouTube him and wake up, fellas. In all caps.
Okay.
All right. Well,
okay.
Like I said, I wasn't familiar with the player. I just looked him up right quick and just looked at stats. So, when next year comes, when he's eligible for the draft, then that's when I'll look into him more. But I'm not concentrating on that. I'm concentrating on the 2022 NBA draft. And is he in this draft? No, he is not. Right, so there we go. Jesus,
you have unleashed the G in Ryan. Thank you for thank you for your education. We didn't know who he is, but we have a lot to look at all year. Thank you for the heads up. Well, I'll keep my eye open.
Heads up for next season. Though.
Exactly. I'll keep that in mind.
Exactly. So when next season comes and Scoot Henderson pops up, I'll remember your name and be like, yeah, he introduced us to Scoot Henderson a year early. Thank you for that.
Right.
Right. All right, now let's get to the phone lines. I'm not sure who's on the phone line still. I think Jason might still be on the phone lines.
The dad going 17% from 3. Oh my God. 17%.
Hello,
Jason.
Yeah, what's up, guys? You hear me?
Yeah, man. Yeah. Gunshots for Jason. Long time no talk, man.
Yeah, I got a lot to say, as you know.
Yeah.
You have a lot to say? Nah.
One thing I want to say, we don't know if this deal is going to happen. Obviously, the Knicks are trying to do it to move up.
Right.
But like this whole, I'm not giving up him, that all got to go out the window. Okay, it's not going to be the Knicks' choice. If the Knicks want him, it's going to be who do the Kings want. It's not going to be, I want to keep Obi, I want to keep IQ. Yeah, you could say you want to keep RJ. Outside of RJ, it's going to be Kings, who do you want? And we'll add picks to it. It's not going to be, I'll give you these picks, but I'm not giving you IQ. I'm not giving you Obi. I'm not giving you Grimes. Like, I just wanted to throw that out there because everyone's talking like it's going to be like if the Knicks are choosing. Like, it's, hey, who do I want to put in the offer? It's not going to be like that. And I think it's going to be a huge, if it's going to happen, I think it's going to take 3 first-round picks of ours, not the Mavs pick, because they're not stupid. They're not going to say, the 28th pick in the draft. We really want that. They know what the Mavs pick's going to be.
Right. Well,
think it's going to be this year's pick, next year's first, and the following year's first from the Knicks. And I would do it because, as you guys have said, like the Knicks, let's be real. Tibbs is our coach, at least for one more season. We're going to be picking in the same spot next year. Like this idea of, save your picks because, maybe we'll get lucky. We ain't going to get lucky. We're going to be picking 9, 10, 11, 12 next year, the next 3 years if we don't make a move.
I agree, and I always agree and disagree with him. Here's the thing. Depending, like I said before, if we're bidding against the Thunder, right, who can blow us out the water with any picks, then we're dead in the water. We're not going to really compete with them anyway. Right?
The Thunder rumors are that A, they might take them with 2. That's a rumor. B, they want to move up to get Shaden Sharp. No one's really thinking they're going to move up to 4 to get Ivey. A lot of people think they want to move up to get Shaden Sharp with 5 or 6 or 7.
My thing is this. It's a negotiation, right? So depending on who's in and who's out determines what leverage you have. Now I do agree that I do. Hold on, Jason. Hold on. I do agree. I do agree. It's not all. We can't dictate the whole terms of the deal, but that's why it's called a negotiation. Like you say, I want this, and you go, that's too risky. Let me not give you that, but I'll give you this instead. Like that's part of the deal. That's part of the negotiation. It's not always exactly what you want. And if there's less people negotiating with us, then they can bluff and go, you know what? Screw all. Did they do something dumb like draft Keegan Murray? Then we deal with the Detroit Pistons and maybe they take our deal, right? So it's not depending on the leverage. Everything is about leverage. If somebody else has more leverage than us, then the price goes up. So that's why I say there might be a chance that we can steer away from other people, but it might not work too. But there is a chance. That's all I'm saying.
But they have the leverage. They have the 4th pick. They have the ability to draft the game-changing player. If I was the Kings, I would just draft Ivey, and I wouldn't even think about it. I wouldn't even listen to the Knicks. That's if I was the Kings, but clearly they're not me. So
right, But you know what I think is happening though. You saw what happened with Halliburton.
They got Sabonis.
Right.
Halliburton led to them getting Sabonis.
Right.
So that worked out.
But what I'm thinking, that worked out in the long run, yes. But if I'm De'Aaron Fox and I'm watching you draft another guard again, I'm thinking they don't want to rub him the wrong way. And I'm thinking that's why they're even announcing that they don't want to get this pick because they felt like, I'm guessing them drafting Halliburton already caused drama behind the scenes. And that's a complete guess. There's no
if
intel.
If it caused so much drama, why did they do the same thing the following year and draft another point guard?
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. I'm saying they don't want to do that again. That's why I'm saying there might be incentive.
Why not? It worked. They got Sabonis.
I know, but what's the aftermath of that?
Ivey, and then they could trade Ivey in a year or 2 from now and get an All-Star. You don't think that would work?
Yeah, but I don't think they will.
That's what they did with Halliburton.
Why are you acting like Sabonis was some big get? He sucked at the end of last year.
He's a 2-time All-Star. You act like. So if they didn't have Halliburton, how would they get Sabonis?
Bro, I mean, he hasn't been no All-Star since then.
That's not.
Okay, Randall was All-Star too.
If they didn't have Halliburton, how were they getting Sabonis?
That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying the blowback.
What the hell? Who cares? They got Sabonis. They got roped by getting Sabonis for Halliburton. That's a ripoff.
That's not even what I'm saying though. I'm saying what
was
the blow.
Sabonis. They got what they wanted. I don't understand why people keep. If I was I don't think they're gonna do this because they're stupid. But if I was the GM of the Sacramento Kings, I would just draft Ivey. And then in a year or 2 from now, we'll figure out whoever's the best one. We'll keep one and we'll trade the others. That's what I would do.
Okay.
But I don't think they're gonna do that. And if they turn down an offer of multiple first-round picks to draft Keegan Murray. Oh my God, that would be the dumbest move I've ever heard.
It would be.
But Jason, I just want to say something right quick though, because they just basically did that with Halliburton and Fox, so they're gonna do that all over again with Fox.
That's exactly what I'm saying. They don't want to go through that again.
It worked. I don't understand why people talk about that like it's a fail.
Okay, all right. Oh, okay, Jason, you're missing the point. All I'm saying is this: they got Sabonis. But what was the blowback with their relationship with De'Aaron Fox? That's what I'm saying. I'm not talking about what they got in Sabonis. I'm talking about managing egos and relationships with people. I'm talking about managing egos and relationships with people who are in-house already. And I'm pretty sure when his name was on the trade block and stuff, he was sitting back like, oh, nah. But at the end of the day, they chose De'Aaron Fox. If they draft Jaden Ivey, I can see him rolling his eyes again and say, you know what, I'm out of here at the first sign of exit. That's what I'm really trying to say.
You've been trading for another All-Star. Like, I don't understand why. Like,
okay, but
we don't have to argue about this because this is really not a Knicks thing. But we got into a whole other debate we didn't even need to get into.
Right, it's cool. But that's all I'm saying. We both talking in circles. But thanks for calling, Jason. We're gonna get.
What I was gonna say, and I'll end it here because I know you got a lot of callers. Is that if the Knicks were to trade up, right, and using multiple picks, it would kind of be unprecedented because it's the kind of move that you see in the NFL a lot. You almost never see a move like this in the NBA.
True.
Yeah, I mean, it happens.
So
it happens, but it doesn't happen a lot. It happens, but it doesn't happen a lot.
Doesn't happen a lot.
You're right about that.
I don't remember it ever happening where somebody trades 3 first-round picks to get into the top 4.
Yeah, I mean, it's rare. It's rare in the NBA. I mean, you might see a team move up maybe 1 or 2.
Right.
1 or 2 picks, but to jump like 7 picks.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Now, yeah, you're right about
this
that.
high in the draft too. Like late in the draft, you see it happening a lot, but like this high, but it happens in the NFL all the time. They do it like the 49ers did it to get Trey Lance a couple years ago. Like it happens all the time in the NFL. It never happens in the NBA, but it could be a game changer.
Yeah, it could be. It could be. We'll see. We'll see if it happens. We'll definitely see what happens. It's gonna be a good one. Thanks for calling in, Jason. All right, yo, Fritz. Do we have any other callers on the line? I'm trying to see who was on the line. We got 493 people on the chat. Shout out to people.
Wow.
Big number right there.
Yeah, but yeah. If you're feeling the show, hit the like and subscribe button. If you was here earlier, you heard us talk about the reasons why we would entertain trading up for Jaden Ivey. Also talked about the competition, who we have to trade up. We also talked about who we would give up versus who we prefer to give up versus who we want to keep and the reasons why of that. We haven't even gotten to the other topics, so there's 5 people on the phone.
Yeah, for real.
There's 5 people on the phone. Let me at least get to 1 or 2 other people before we move on to the next topic. Next caller up. What's your name and where you from?
Hey, I'm Russ from the Bronx. I've called in. Haven't called in a long time because we didn't have nothing really to say of any worth. But I wanted to call in tonight because I think this is a special week for the Knicks.
Yeah.
I think with the draft coming up, this is the first time that we've even had the assets, where we can truly make a pick that makes a difference. I think the players that we have on the team, although they have been an improvement, really to say that we would have a star or somebody that would be of any relevance in the East, we haven't had that in a long time. And I think the dynamic that really excites me is in order to do this too, we're going to have to get rid of some of these veterans, which will allow our young players to play.
Right.
And I'm just praying that Tibbs and his understanding of what we have will also change the offensive scheme, which will allow us to really be relevant. But I'm excited because I think Mitch is probably sitting back saying, what they're probably trying to make a little difference. Maybe he signs back with us, but even if he doesn't, for the first time, I can see where we will really perhaps be a little bit better in the future. I'm just hoping and getting rid of some of the players, some players like Cam and Deuce actually get some playing time in the rotation to really make a difference.
Right.
So I don't know what you guys think about that.
Yeah, I mean,
solid.
Yeah, solid. Like, I would hate to lose Grimes, but I mean, the caveat for losing Grimes is, Cam has the chance to be a special player, and unless we get rid of half of our roster, he might not have the chance to. And if Grimes is gone, hey man, it's an opportunity for him to see what he has and show his worth. So guys like him, guys like McBride, that might be the benefactor if Grimes get moved or if IQ get moved.
All right. Well, I got one question before I leave you there, because all that is looking really good. But let's talk about the elephant in the room. I think I really think Randall has to go in order for this to work. And I just want to see what everybody thinks about that. I think in some ways Ivy helps him because we don't have to worry about him coming down, spinning in the lane, losing the ball. But by the same token, since I don't think he'll be the primary ball handler, I think Obi is a better fit, and symmetrically, I think the team is better. And I'm just thinking when they get to Portland, whether the Knicks would be in play to try maybe and do something with Randall. What do you guys think about that?
I like the term you use, symmetrical, because that does fit it.
Yes, I agree. I mean, we've been talking about Randall and him needing to go all season, so I'm on board with you for sure. I mean, unfortunately, it's not unanimous in the front office, according to Ian Begley. That there's some people who feel like it could be bad business to trade Randall at this point, and there's no need to move him. So most likely he's going to stay. Hopefully, maybe he just plays better, we raise his trade value, and then we move him for some extra first rounders that we can make another subsequent move in the future. Hopefully, that's the pathway we take. Because I really want to see what Obi can do. Because, as you said, he is symmetrical.
yeah, that's what it is.
Right.
Well, I appreciate it. I follow you guys. Raw. He's from the Bronx. I'm from the Bronx. Everyone's.
Okay.
I think maybe I get on this show once a year to say something. Because you just get tired of losing. So hopefully we'll do this. And I don't know if they're still trying to get Brunson, but it would be exciting if they go ahead and change that whole thing and really give us a chance in the East.
Got you. All right.
Yeah, most definitely.
All right,
yo.
Thank you.
Appreciate you. All right. Yo, there's so many calls, there's super chats. Man, I didn't even get to the next subject yet because we have a show.
That's what I'm saying. Like we're not even gonna be able to touch the other topics.
That's right.
What's such the other topics right now? All right, next topic.
JB. JB.
You want to talk about J?
No, I'm saying other topics. JB. Jalen Brunson.
Oh yeah. The
Mitchell
other
Robinson.
Right.
Kyrie.
Exactly. Now, as you know, you guys know how the Knicks work, right? The Knicks don't have just a plan A. The way the Knicks work, the Knicks have a plan A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, right? So they have on their board trade up for Jaden Ivey. They also have on their board who's available. If this person falls at 11, we're taking him. They also probably have on their board maybe we'll trade down and get these other subsequential picks. They have that on their board as well, but what's been reported recently is the other plan Bs at point guard, right? One of them being Malcolm Brogdon. It's been reported that the Knicks have contacted the Indiana Pacers, or at least not that contacted, but they've talked about the possibility of Malcolm Brogdon coming to the Knicks. And the Pacers want the 11th pick for Malcolm Brogdon. We talked about this. Now, me, myself, I've been a big Malcolm Brogdon fan for a long time. But, that's young Malcolm Brogdon. Recent Malcolm Brogdon, I'm not sure what we're getting. He's played 75 games in his first season, and ever since then, he has not played more than, 54 games, I believe the number was. So, I mean, at the end of the day, though, he has a reputation for being a defender. And he has some catch and shoot threes. So I don't know, Ryan, let me know what do you think about the possibility of bringing Brogdon here?
Well, like you said, healthy Malcolm Brogdon, I'd be all for it because he's a big point guard. He definitely can perform well in a switching defense because he's big enough to where he can guard wings as well. Solid point guard, can shoot the three. When he's healthy, he's a really good player. Mm-hmm. What concerns me is the health history. That's the only concern I have about Malcolm Brogdon. And to me, like, I look at where the Knicks are right now and decide if that's a good move for them. If the Knicks were a win now team, I'd be willing to take a risk on a Malcolm Brogdon because I'd be like, you know what, we're one piece away or so from pushing to that championship or pushing to be in a contender, whatever the case may be. Right now, the Knicks are still in a rebuilding phase. So for me to give up the 11th pick for a player who's often injured, to me, that's a no.
Hell no. Hell no. I already know what Raw got to say. I already know what Raw... My thing is, here's my thing. They have the audacity to ask us for a pick? Shouldn't it be the other way around?
Right.
You should be giving me a pick.
Hands, yeah.
What? Give us a pick. Can you give us a future first to take 3 years, 64 million of dead cap? Because that's what it's gonna be, dead cap on our salary. The gumption, the gall, like the what?
The audacity, the unmitigated gall.
Unmitigated gall. Unmitigated gall.
Like, I don't understand in what world do we have to attach a pick to Julius Randle to move him? But we gotta attach. At least Randle is healthy, all right. Randle is gonna give you 77 games.
Right.
Randle's gonna play. When is the last time, bro? And here's the thing too, because I've been listening to play. I've been reading and listening to Pacers fans talk about him, and shout out to what podcast was I listening to? I think it was Locked On. One of the person on Locked On and other Pacers fans have been talking about how he's lost his step and he doesn't really guard point guards like he used to. And he's more suited to guard wings today than he was before. Not to say that he's an abysmal at guarding the point guard position, but before where you can just throw him on any point guard and he's locking him up. If you put him against a speedy guard today, they're gonna treat him like they treated Alec Burks. So he might work better against these bigger, like a bigger guard, like, oh, if Ben Simmons is a point guard, okay. If Luka is a point guard we're playing against, you might have a better shot. But when it comes to these others, most of the point guards who are fast or who has to run through picks, because that's what point guards do. They run lots of picks, lots of pick actions, and he's slow of foot because of Achilles injury. He's not going to keep up with most of the point guards outside of the slower, bigger ones. Mm-hmm. So I don't feel like the switchability is as valuable as it was before, is what I'm saying. I'd rather, if I'm going anywhere, I'd rather go the Jalen Brunson route. And I'm not even sure if that's a possibility right now because the way Jalen Brunson's performed, I can't see Dallas letting him walk out the door. But I can read that headline as well. The Knicks are looking to clear $25 million in cap space to go after Jalen Brunson in free agency. That's what's been reported by Jake from the Bleacher Report.
But it also, in that same report, they said, but Dallas is most likely the one he's going to stay with.
Right.
Yeah, so, I mean, the Knicks could clear the space and try to make a run at him. I hope they fail because I don't want to pay him $25 million a year. But I think Dallas is going to re-sign him.
I think so, too. And it's one of those things is if we do that, me being an IQ guy, me looking at IQ and comparing him to Brunson and then saying, okay, to me, IQ, he's averaged more assists than Brunson earlier in his career. I feel like IQ's shot diet is looking better towards the end of the year. If he keeps that up, his percentage is going to grow. I feel like I really want to give him more of a chance to be that guy. But if Brunson is here and if Brunson is that guy, I'm not going to be super upset because Brunson is a solid player. As long as we don't super overpay him, we can always move one or the other for another asset if push comes to shove. But I wouldn't be like horrified at that move if it was to happen, which I don't expect it to happen. Anything? If you have anything to add to that, or we can go on to the next subject and shout out these super chats.
Yeah, I agree. I just don't think they're going to sign Brunson anyway. I think that was. I'm not saying Brunson wouldn't like New York. I'm just saying Dallas could give him a 5th year. A guy like that doesn't turn down the 5th year. So I can't see it.
Yeah, I can't see it either. And I always have this thing where I feel like Brunson's performed better because they had like a stretch 5. And to me, like Brunson is an ISO guy. He's a guy, I'm going to dribble, I'm going to get into the paint, and I'm going to give you those pull-up mid-range shots. And in the NBA, those pull-up mid-range shots, ask RJ, ask Julius Randle, those pull-up mid-range shots aren't as open when you don't have a stretch 5. And we don't have a stretch 5 here. So in my mind, I wonder if he can duplicate his success that he had in the playoffs here with the Knicks if he doesn't have that same type of stretch 5 personnel here. That's just me, though. Because that's why I feel like that had a big reason why Dallas was successful when Luka Doncic was out. Because their team was built a certain way that our team just isn't built like. You know what I'm saying?
They play 5 outside, so that does open up things for guys like Brunson. Yeah,
Exactly.
Yeah.
But shout out to everybody else in the chat. I see some more. Let me get these super chats. He says, shout out to Michael Parker. Yo, he keeps going at RJ, man. He just keeps going. He says talent wins games, but not unproven Canadian-born players with questionable upside. No offense to RJ.
God.
I'm just saying. You know when people say I'm just saying, they know they're just saying some craziness, right?
Oh man.
Dump his sister or something. I mean,
So I guess if Michael Parker's running the Knicks, RJ would have been out yesterday.
Oh yeah.
He would have been traded yesterday.
Absolutely.
Michael Parker been fired the day after yesterday.
Oh, shout out to Parrish. He sends a $2 super chat. He said, "Jay Boogie, they don't know Scoop." Salute, bro.
It's all good. It's all good, man. Look, like I said, when next year's draft comes and Scoot Henderson's on the board, we'll bring you up, man. We'll be like, yo, he put us on Scoot Henderson, and we'll watch the clips. We'll be more knowledgeable when 2023 comes around, but we're just concentrating on 2022 right now, my man. That's all we're trying to say. That's all.
That's all we're saying, man. No disrespect to Scoop, all right?
Yeah, no disrespect at all, man. No disrespect.
All right. Shout out to Gene Marcus is a fine super chat. He says, your argument is logical, but I don't see Ivy dominate. I did not see Ivy dominate in the tournament. I have doubt he will be the all-star we all think he's going to be. All right. I get it.
I mean, yeah, college basketball is tricky because a lot of times, like, players are kind of restricted in college basketball because you're playing within a system. They pretty much recruit players to fit in the system. So players are not given the freedom that they're given at the NBA level.
Right.
You know what I mean? So if Ivy doesn't dominate in the tournament, there's a lot of factors that might contribute to it. But he has a skill set where, given the freedom that he's going to get at the NBA level, there's a good chance that he's going to grow into that all-star superstar player because all the tools are there. It's just a matter of him putting it together and performing. So I know people love to look at the college game and be like, you know what, this player, he didn't perform well in this game, he didn't perform well in that game, and that means it's not gonna translate to the NBA. But not all the time that's the case.
Right.
Absolutely. And for Jaden Ivey in particular, I know a lot of scouts were saying that they weren't happy with the type of offense he was being run in because they were kind of running a lot of motion off ball stuff. So he wasn't on the ball a lot. And they were also saying that he did get some opportunity to run some pick and roll and some on ball action as a lead guard, but not that many. And that's why there's doubts about him being a lead guard playmaker. So we don't really know his ceiling really because he's been used a lot more as an off ball guy while he was playing. So I get it. But like you said, man, like the athleticism and the potential is there to swing and try to make a home run on this pick. All right, cool. All right, we got some callers. Next caller up. I don't know who you are, but what's your name and where you from? What do you want to talk about?
Hey, what's up, fellas? This is Big Reaper. How you guys doing?
Big Reaper.
Big Reaper.
What up, old fan in the building?
Thank you guys for taking my call. It's been a while. But yeah, man, it's like, like Jaden Ivey, look, I think he's extremely talented, like I said. And, I mean, he's got vision. I know some people think he's not really a lead guard, but he's got really good vision. He creates a lot of easy baskets for his teammates. So, obviously, speed kills too. I guess the only thing that was just worrying me is like, what are they? Because I kind of feel like it's the third year. We had a bad second year, so I feel like the front office might be under pressure now.
Yeah.
Because I just think if they have another bad year, I think Zola might just, basically replace everybody.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. So I think right now I'm getting the feeling because we're being linked to so much right now, and it feels like either all these are misdirections or they are being really aggressive because they gotta, they need to actually win, or at least, try to make the playoffs this year. They can't look like what happened last year. So that's my concern. I just hope it doesn't cost us too much to get up to the 4th pick. That's all I'm saying, because you don't want to give up too much talent, and then I think somebody said a long time ago that's like hustling sideways, and you don't want to do that. Give
Right.
up too much of your talent just to get this one player. So that's my only concern. And then with Johnny Davis, he just kind of all the stuff you said is definitely true in terms of not having the athleticism. But when for me, the games I've seen him, when he's in the paint, he kind of rises up through contact, even flushes on people, even with somebody standing next to him. So he just kind of, I don't know. I think there's, for me, there's a lot that I like about him. His ability to shoot off the dribble in the mid range.
Right.
I mean, it's really good. He posts up in the mid range. It feels like so. And a lot of his shots, a lot of his scoring was really on him. There's really nobody on the team. So a lot of the offense just fell on his shoulders. The one thing I don't like about him is he's too tunnel vision. He doesn't pass the ball all the time when he should. That's the only thing I don't like about him. But I just get this. I really get superstar vibes from Johnny Davis. Obviously he's not athletic as Ivey, but he just gives me that vibes because he feels like an impact player. He plays both ways. And it's not like he's capable of playing defense, and doesn't choose to. He plays it, and so that's the only thing I liked about, that's why I like Johnny Davis. But yeah, that's pretty much what I have. All the other stuff they're talking about, Jalen Brunson, I don't know if it's a good idea. It's definitely gonna cost too much to get Brunson, and like you guys said, the guy from Indiana, that just doesn't make any sense to me at all either, especially at this age.
Right.
And so, but that's pretty much what I have. Thank you guys for taking my call.
Big Reaper from AC.
Yeah, man.
Yes, sir. Big Reaper.
Shout out to my guy Big Reaper, has always supported us with the calls, super chats, and everything else. And check out his channel too. You be dropping some knowledge as well. All right. I would say Big Reaper. I know you like Johnny Davis. I know me and Rose talk about this behind the scenes. And shout out to Corey, who's been putting people on my radar. Jalen Williams, man. I'm liking Jalen Williams over Johnny right now, and
yeah, I'm feeling Jalen Williams too,
because they kind of almost remind me of each other, but Jalen like Johnny had to carry the offensive load. Jalen like Johnny had to be the guy, but Jalen it can create in the mid range, get to the hole, can shoot threes a little bit, but he also passes. But his percentages are still good as well, and he has longer limbs and he's more athletic. He's just been under the radar because of the school he went to. So to me, when I'm looking at him versus Johnny, I'm like, I think I would be really comfortable taking Jalen, personally. Now,
and you don't have to get him that high. You could get him. You could trade down and get Jalen Williams. Possibly,
but I've heard since Jalen's been performing well in the draft combine, that his stock has risen. So because everybody's all over the place, he could go in. He can go in the. I've seen him. I think I've seen some boards where he's 13, 14, 15 area. So.
Yeah, Knicks, if they wanted to trade down, they could get a guy.
Yeah. So maybe 13. Maybe, but it's possible. Maybe he's going by 12. I don't know. But that's with this draft, you just don't know. Everybody is so close knit together and trying to swing for the fences and try to find diamond and roughs. You just don't know. But But shout out to Corey for putting on the radar for sure.
And the thing is, just before you move on, Jalen Williams, I've been watching more of his tapes too, and some of the moves, some of the plays he made in college, I was like, yo, those are NBA plays, especially those plays where he drives to the basket and then he kicks out to the 3-point line.
Son,
plays like that, I'm like, yo, that's NBA.
Yeah, he makes
play right there.
Yep, yeah. Yep.
Yo, the wing passing that we can get from him, he can play wing, he can play point guard. He and the thing that makes me believe that there's hidden talent there is that he grew he was like 5'10" or something when he got accepted. Or was he like 6'2" or something? Then he had a growth spurt and then grew to like 6'6" or 6'7". So he had yeah. So he plays like a small point guard. That's why he's so good at using his body and angles when he's playing because he's plays like he's a small guard, but he's in a big guard's body. And he's an athletic body. So he hasn't fully recognized how to use his athleticism yet. Because when he went to the combine, his athleticism was off the charts, but he doesn't really use it in games. Really, he really uses like leverage and angles. So I feel like if we either get him and he was able to kind of even use his athleticism more in game with the angles, like they could be something there, man. Because he hasn't had like a whole year of him learning how to use his athleticism and length in the basketball situation. So I don't know. That's my best pitch for Jalen. Well, I feel like that might be my pick right this year, man. I don't know. If we miss out on everything else.
There's a couple of guys like I like Dalen Terry, I like Jalen Williams, I like both of those guys down there.
Yo, Dalen is cool too. I need to get deeper into Dalen, but I'm gonna be checking him out deeper within the next few days, and some other guys on the radar as well.
Yeah.
But yeah. Next, let's get to the next caller before we get to Mitch Robinson news. We got the gunshots for Mitch, baby. We got the gunshots going for Mitch. Mitch, get that money, buddy.
Money making Mitch. Pay that man.
Pay that man. Jalen Duran, who? Pay that man.
Right. Pay that man.
Pay that man, yo.
Pay that man.
Yeah, man. Yo, next caller, man. Let us know what your name is and where you're from.
Yo, hello?
Hello?
Yeah, we here.
Yeah, my name is Alex. What's going on? Shalom to the panel.
All right, shalom.
Hello.
Yeah, this message is for Raw for a quick second. I spoke it, or I'm gonna speak it into existence. Ivey to the Knicks.
Let's go.
Yeah. So I just want to say that real quick. He knows how I feel about this. I mean, it's Alex from Florida, and we spoke about it for a minute now.
Okay.
Yeah. So I mean, at this point, the reason why you do what you do, you get all the capital, you get all the players, the personnel you develop and everything is to make a move, right? And in my opinion, Ivey got the skill set to take us to the next level, because he, like I've been telling Raw, he gets into the teeth of the defense. He finishes. He's a shooter. He's athletic. He's big like Westbrook, and I just feel like he's gonna take the team to the next level.
That's right.
I'm with it, man.
So yeah, I'm gonna speak it into existence. Ivey gets picked by the Knicks. In the on the fourth pick, we're gonna make the trade or whatever, and it would be cool if they somehow manage to keep the 11th pick also and try to get like I know Raw is big on Sohan or Easton or something. I don't know.
Right? Yeah, he's big on both of those guys.
Yeah.
I mean, I think they would have to make I think they're gonna have to give up 11 to get Ivey, but I think they could make a trade with somebody. Like if we traded a Randall or somebody, we might be able to get another pick in the first round.
Yeah, it's not gonna be Randall though. They're not trading Randall for a first pick.
What do you think? Like, I mean, Evan Fournier?
Yeah, it might be like maybe.
Do you guys know how it works on a 3-team or 4-team trade? Like, what the stipulations are?
I know they're complicated because you got to please all parties.
Yeah.
The salaries just have to match, but and it's complicated, so it depends on who it is.
But does the salaries have to match for the 2 teams or for all teams?
For all teams.
Yeah. Teams.
But it gets complicated because sometimes teams involved in those trades, they already have the cap space available, so sometimes you can take in cap space, so they don't really have to match money. So it depends on what the 4 teams are.
Right.
Yeah. Some teams.
Okay. I was thinking maybe we can involve a 3rd or a 4th team to kind of facilitate the trade, but I mean I don't know at that point who it would be.
Yeah. Only person I know people who I know who have cap space like that really, I think is like Portland and I think OKC.
Yeah, I believe the Sun has cap space. Yeah, cap space as well. Yeah.
And if Houston could, if they dump Wall, they'll have a ton of cap space.
But Wall just picked up his option today.
He just opted in. Yeah, he just opted in.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, he ain't giving up 40.
He ain't giving up that money. Nope. He said trade me or buy me out, sirs. That's it.
Yeah. All right. Well, yeah, that was basically it, man. I just wanted to shout out my man Raw real quick, and shout out to the panel again. Right. I appreciate you taking my call, man.
Right, my brother.
Salute.
I mean, thank you.
A gunshot to you, Alex. Any more callers on the line? Who else we have on the line? Next call, let us know what your name is, where you from, if there's a caller left.
Yeah, how you doing? My name is Luis from the Bronx.
What's going on, Luis?
Hi, Luis.
All right. Yeah, I'm just calling because, I have a concern, right? Because it's been said that the draft, this year's draft class is a weak class, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, with that being said, so the way I take it is, like they said, it's a four-person draft. So, meaning that from 4 down, it starts to weaken. The draft starts to weaken from 4 all the way down.
Right.
Yeah. So that means that the teams, I mean, they may hit on a pick, and they may not.
Right. You nervous, man? You breathe, man. We family here, right, man. You gotta be nervous, man.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. So I'm saying they may hit on a pick, and they may not. So in other words, also you may have someone like you may get someone like Kevin Knox. You may get a promising player.
I don't think, you know what? I don't think we're going to get a Kevin Knox. We talked about this before. We've had good draft guys. We have good draft guys here. So, and we have people who keep Scott Perry in check. Because it was Scott Perry's idea to get Kevin Knox here. So this is the
and David Fitzgoggles, they got together and decided on Kevin Knox.
Right. This is the most confident we've been in our draft guys in a long time. If you notice, we've hit on almost every draft for the last 2 or 3 years. It was something we couldn't say in a long time. So for us, we're not really worried about hitting or missing on the draft right now. To me, we're worried about getting the guys with higher ceilings in there and getting playing time for the guys that are here. That's where that's where we're at right now. All right. Well, okay. All right. Well, thanks, Lewis. Thanks for calling in, man. Thanks for listening.
All right.
All right, man. Thanks for the call.
All right. Next up, we got Keith from ATL.
Ooh, ATL.
Yeah, what's going on, fellas? Salute to the chat, the panel.
All right.
I've reached out to Raw a couple times, and I pretty much agree with a lot of y'all stuff. Believe it or not, I am a season ticket holder for the Hawks. So being a ticket guy, but
they infiltrated.
Nah, he went and kept the show for the Hawks game with Knicks gear.
Okay. Gunshots to you for doing the Lord's work there.
That's what I'm saying. I invest in the Hawks because I live here. I've been here since '97, and my wife's from Atlanta, so she's a lifelong Hawks fan. We actually went up to MSG for a day trip this past season for the last game. Hawks and Knicks did right before the playoffs started.
Oh man, how was it?
Came up for that. It was awesome. It was real nice. I had a chance to wear my Knick gear in MSG, and it's the first time I had been there since like 2002.
Oh wow.
Been a minute.
But yeah, it's crazy because I got my Hawk. I wear my little Collins jersey and everything to all the games. And then like this year, I wore my Grimes and I wore McBride.
All right, okay. That's how you know. That's how you know.
I just wanted to give all y'all individually a shout because I think y'all do a great job. I don't even really get on YouTube and do a whole lot of this, but I do follow you guys as often as possible. I work a lot, so I don't get a chance to catch y'all live. This is the first time I said, you know what, let me go ahead and try and call in and say hello and all that, and wish all y'all tell y'all how good a job y'all doing. I do hope they do get Ivey.
Me too, man.
I think that would be a real good situation. I'm kind of with y'all though. I don't think they're gonna be. I mean, Leon he's a beast, but he's really gonna. You talk about a fleecing. In order for us to get the number 4 and still keep 11, that would go down in.
That's not happening. I'm just letting you know.
Greatest robbery in NBA history, right there. If he could pull something like that off, so to get a talent like Ivey, like y'all been saying from day one, that's gonna hurt. They're gonna make it hurt a little bit. It can't be too easy. They ain't just gonna give him up for, okay, we'll take Fournier, Burks, and Noel and your second rounder in 2027. That's not gonna get it done.
Nope.
It's gonna hurt. So I'm hoping we could keep Grimes. To be honest with you, if it was up to me, I would do everything I could to try and keep Grimes, because I think Grimes is he just got a chance to really be a very good two-way player. Very good two-way player. He's lengthy. He's a dog on defense. I'm in the deuce high right along with you, Raw. I'm hoping that. That's another reason I would prefer them get rid of Quick. If they go get rid of him, it's gonna hurt to get rid of Quick, but that opens up a whole lot more play time for Deuce.
Ulterior motives. Ulterior.
I'm just being honest. I mean, he's the direct person. He's the one directly induces where he gets playing time. That's Quick. So
I like Burks is in his way. All right.
Well, I think we all know Burks ain't gonna be there. I mean, that to me, that would be akin to losing Mitch for nothing at this point. If Tibbs meant what he said in his exit interviews and all of that, and what Berman was talking about, with him regretting not playing them when he had the opportunity, well, I mean, he'll be able to really, say what he or do what he says if they get rid of guys like Burks and all those guys. They're good for stop gaps, but they're directly stopping the young guys from getting some time. So, but I ain't gonna hog up all the time. It's my first time calling. My wife's got oral surgery in the morning, so I got to get up in around 4 hours to get her 2 hours away for the oral surgery. But I do want to give y'all a shout out and say I think y'all do a great job. I listen to y'all and watch y'all all the time. Well, I usually repeat because I can very rarely catch y'all on live, but keep up the great work, y'all.
All right, yo.
Hey,
salute to
man.
you.
I hope everything goes well with your wife, man.
Absolutely.
Yeah, man.
Absolutely.
Yeah, thank you very much. I appreciate it.
All right, salute to Keith, man. Even though he's trying to get rid of my boy IQ. He's cool. He's still cool with me. All right. We got one more point. Wait, first, let me get this last topic before we get to this last caller. All right? Because, like I said before, it's time to hit the gunshots, man. Because money-making Mitchell Robinson is looking like it's likely he's going to stay with this New York Knicks. Let's go. Shout out to Worldwide West.
Everywhere we go, we leave a worldwide Shout out to Worldwide West.
Shout out to Worldwide West. And it's been reported. Hold on, let me get to the reports. It's been reported that new multi-year deal to keep Mitch Robinson in New York is looming, according to Mark Stein. And I also saw something from SNNY that says, at the moment, the club will feel comfortable matching an offer that is in the neighborhood of mid-level exception, projected at $44.5 million over 4 years.
Oh, if that's the case, that's a perfect deal.
Mm-hmm.
Perfect.
Yeah, perfect. So, we talk about behind the scenes a little bit too. Like Mitch has been rocking Knicks gear in his stories. It was a good omen. It was a good sign. Even though I was still skeptical, I was like, still scared he's gonna leave. It was a good sign. That was a good sign he was interested. And it looks like we're close to the finish line. Thoughts on that, gentlemen?
Man, I mean, I kind of felt like they were going to keep Mitch Rob. Only thing I just wanted to know, if another team was going to outbid for him, but I felt like he wanted to stay in New York. I did. I felt like he wanted to stay in New York. And then he finally, like this past season, put together 72 games, fought through a lot of nicks and pains and stuff, and I still feel like this summer he's going to even add some offensive repertoire. So, and then to me, he's the defensive anchor of the team. So, to me, you got to get. Especially somebody with 12 million a year, money, man, not in the NBA. So you get to sign this man, give him his money.
Nothing, man.
Yeah, man, and I just want to add on to that, like, the Knicks often, when we bring the young players, when we draft young players, we often do not resign them. Often, they only stay here for like a few years and they're out. And Mitch has been here for about 4 seasons, and every year Mitch has shown improvement. Season by season, he's improved. And I feel like when you have a player like that on your team, you need to invest in him because he's put in the work to improve. And even this past season, like I know he came into the season out of shape, which, you could probably attribute that to him coming off an injury, his foot injury. But as the season went on and he got back into shape, you started seeing the old Mitch again.
Mm-hmm.
So that's confident. So I'm confident that if the Knicks pay him going into next season, he's going to be even better. So to me, it was a no-brainer. Mitch had to re-sign him. Defensive anchor, great offensive rebounder. Defensively, he covers up a lot of the Knicks' mistakes in the paint.
Yeah.
So, so re-signing Mitch was a no-brainer for me. I was like, Knicks have to do whatever they can to try to bring this man back.
Will he be the first draft pick that we re-signed since Ward?
I think the last one was. I don't know if we signed a.
I think it might. I think you breaking up a little bit, Ryan. I feel like it might have been David Lee.
Did they?
Yeah, that's what I think.
But that was a sign and trade, right?
Was David Lee a sign and trade? That's a good question. He might be the first because the Charlie Ward curse thing has been out there for a while that we haven't really been able to re-sign Knicks picks.
Yeah.
So if that's the case, he would definitely break it. I think he would break it, but I wasn't sure it was like, is David Lee like a second? Because when did we get David Lee?
Yeah, that's what I'm looking up right now.
David Lee. That's a good. Okay.
But
let me see contract.
2006. 2006, he was drafted out of University of Florida.
And you know what? Yeah, he had an entry-level contract, and then he re-signed the Knicks for 1 year, $7 million. That's when the Knicks were going into the 2010 free agency when they had all the big-name free agents like Amari, LeBron, etc.
Right.
So the Knicks only re-signed him for 1 year, and then that year was a sign and trade.
Then they went to Golden
sign
State.
and trade, to Golden State,
Got you. So nope. That might be the curse. The curse might be broken, man.
Yeah. I think Mitch Roberts breaking the curse.
The curse might be broken. Gunshots from Mitch Robinson, man. Gunshots from Mitch Robinson if he breaks the curse. We're not there yet. I don't want to celebrate yet. I just want to get there first. But like there are things I still want Mitch to work on. I still want him to set proper screens, right? We already know he wants to be more involved in the offense, and he wants to shoot threes. But I've been saying I want to see him hit free throws first. I saw him. He's posting himself working on those free throws. So shout out to Mitch. He's working on those free throws. All right.
He said his goal was 80% this year.
Yep, he did say his goal was 80%.
If he shoots 80% from the free throw line, oh my! I should throw that man a party if he shoots 80% from the free throw line this upcoming season.
Absolutely. And I know people complain that he doesn't pass much. He's not a modern big. Personally, I've seen him do some nice stuff in the short roll. I've seen him flash some nice passes this year. Mitch's passing was a little bit under the radar. He wasn't Steph. He wasn't, Jason Kidd or nothing like that. But I saw him flash some little passes. But to me, for the long-term haul, I still feel like we still gonna need a stretch big at some point. I just need him to get the baby steps, hit the free throws first, see if he can move out slowly. Maybe get a pick and pop, maybe get the stretch big, but still keep the foot on the gas when it comes to rebounding. and still block those shots on top of that. But congratulations to Mitch. And I know a lot of people were saying like, we don't need a big who can hit threes. And I'm just saying, look at RJ Barrett and his skill set and the way he likes to go to the hole. He needs as much room as possible, and that's why I keep saying that we need to stretch big here. But hopefully, I'm not sure if Mitch can reach that ceiling, but I'm hopeful. I'm hoping that he can test it out and try. And we'll just see what happens, man. We'll just see what happens. Shout out to Mitch Rob. All right. We got one more caller on the show. Last caller of the night. Let us know what your name is and where you're from and what do you want to talk about.
Yeah.
Let's go. JT.
Salute to the chat. We got a lot of people in the chat. We got some likes up. Let's go.
Let's go.
Been a minute. I'm gonna keep it short. The whole Ivy thing. I don't want to trade the farm, man. That's what I keep stressing. I want us to go, stay in a direction with the youth. I think the most important thing is to be an addition by subtraction, getting rid of the dead weight. That way we could really play. We could really develop the youth. And I know everybody keeps saying stop overvaluing our youth, all of that stuff, but we can't. How can you properly evaluate them when they only been in years 2 and 3? But I digress.
I feel you.
You keep, everybody keeps on saying they want these guys are in their 6th and 7th year, but it's like they got to their 6th and 7th year. Why can't we do that for the first time? And that's the good thing is if we do draft number all-stars, we can't pay everybody. You can't have 4 or 5 people with, $30 million contracts.
I agree.
But other than that, though, which I just want to, what I think is going to happen, I think they're probably going to stay still at 11 because from the rumors, it seems like they're not like what Sacramento may want. They're not willing to give it. Mm-hmm. So I'm gonna just see. I have no expectations because another reason why I'm reserved on trading a whole lot for Ivy is because you just don't know what these guys when they get to the A. You don't know injuries, you don't know whatever. So that's just why I'm like, I don't know how I feel about that. And then also, if we keep saying 2023 draft class is supposed to be stacked and whatever, then if we get a good draft pick next year, maybe. But that's just my opinion on that. As far as Mitch is concerned, I told y'all he wanted to stay. I knew he wanted to stay, and let's see what happens. Let's see if he signs. Let's see if he signs that. Once that deal is signed, if he's still wearing that jersey, this fall.
Right.
Other than that, it's been a long show, great show. Salute to everybody in the chat. Once again, I'm out. Yeah.
My guy JT Redick, man, always comes with the energy at the end. I love it, man. I love it. I get what he's saying. The 2023 pick is that draft is supposed to be a deep draft, so I get the trepidation for trading away that pick, and that's definitely crossed my mind. I ain't gonna lie, but I'm like, man, Ivy looks dicey. I don't know, man. Ivy looks like he could be a piece, man. I don't know. Like, to me, is if you don't feel like somebody in your core can be an all-star, then that's why even that's even more reason why I'm hesitant on trading Obi in particular.
Right.
Because I still it could work now or could not work out. He can be freaking what's the dude on the Nuggets right now?
Porter Jr.
Michael Porter Jr.
Not Michael Porter Jr. He could be Aaron Gordon. He can turn out to be Aaron Gordon. I don't know.
Aaron Gordon.
He can turn out to be Aaron Gordon, or he could be better. Who knows? But I mean, I feel like Obi might have a shot to hit, but that's my personal opinion. That's why I might try to stay away from him at all costs, if anything. But we'll see what happens. But
and my whole thing is I understand that a lot of people are looking towards the 2023 draft because that draft is supposed to be deep. My whole thing is, sometimes a risk has to be taken, and if the Knicks do move up to trade Ivy and Ivy ends up being that stud player the Knicks need, then nobody's complaining about giving up that 2023 pick because you have your guy and he's that potential all-star player that you're looking for. So it just depends on whether you want to take the risk now or take the risk in the future. But either way, you're gonna have to take a risk eventually.
Yeah, exactly. Calculated risk is all we about right now. Fritz says he wants to get in this queue. All right, let's go, Crit. Let's go, Fritz. Let's make it quick. We're gonna wrap it. I know we all hungry. Hungry tired.
Hey, how you guys doing?
What's going on, Fritz?
A lot of people talking. Hey, how's it going? I know a lot of people are talking about 2023. They don't want to give it up. Knicks can't most likely cannot get all their picks in 2023. Also, Knicks got 4 second-round picks next year. So they can always use that, throw little pieces together, find themselves in the first round somehow.
Right.
Or even take those seconds to take that. If the Knicks are really good next year in the 20s, got 4 seconds to maybe get in the middle. So we're going to have something next year. Even if we trade out of next year, we're going to have something next year. We have 4 seconds.
I got you. I was even thinking, like, if we're trying to get off with all these contracts, we have Kemba, we have Noel, we have, like, if something happens where they're trying to get off of contracts, like, I didn't even talk about the Kyrie Irving thing because I think we'll skip over that. But because
we definitely did skip over Kyrie.
I didn't have the energy. I had the energy to talk about this bullshit.
That's right, Jalen.
I did not have the energy, like, dog.
That's right.
First of all, you left the Celtics and they got better.
They got better. They were better with him off the court. They were better with Scary Terry.
They were better with Kemba.
Yep.
I digress. I don't have to. Go ahead.
My whole thing is with Kyrie leaving the Celtics, it was necessary for him to leave the Celtics because I feel like if he stayed with the Celtics, would Jason Tatum and Jalen Brown be who they are today? I highly doubt it.
No.
So the only way those dudes could have developed is with Kyrie gone. And look, with Kyrie, since we're on the topic of Kyrie has only proven to win when he had LeBron James by his side.
Facts.
And my whole thing is this. Right now with the Nets, he has Kevin freaking Durant with them. A dude top 2. Some people say he's the best player in the NBA. If you cannot win a championship with Kevin freaking Durant on your team and get swept by the Celtics in the first round of the playoffs, what is he going to do with this Knicks roster if we sign him to a max deal? What is he going to do with them?
Damn thing. Nothing. All he's going to do is give us some speeches, stretch us out, not show up to practice. There's a cause in Tahiti that I have to fight, and I have mental issues. I mean, you know what? If we want to see IQ and dudes play, sign Kyrie Irving because he's not going to show up anyway.
That's right.
And honestly, I think Kyrie's just using these other teams as leverage. He wants the Nets to give him that max deal because his boy Kevin Durant is there. I don't even think Kyrie wants to leave. He just wants to pressure the Nets into giving him that max deal, and the Nets are going to end up giving him that max deal.
You think so?
And the Nets are going to probably shoot themselves in the foot for giving him that max deal.
I don't think they're going to give him the max deal. I think that's why he was acting up. I think he wants to go play with LeBron.
He does not want to go play with LeBron. There's no way.
He does, man, because he can't win without LeBron.
But he's too petty to play with LeBron. He's not going back to LeBron after all that. Like,
Russell Westbrook to the Nets? Russell Westbrook and Kevin Durant?
They can't even trade for him. They can't even trade for him.
The OKC reunion.
Oh, man.
He will come to us before he goes to LeBron. I can see this weird world where Kyrie Irving wants to be petty. And it's like, oh, you want to pay me? Cool. I'll go across the street then. I could see a weird world where he does that if the Nets really want to be petty. God. But I think he's going to end up with the Nets anyway. But,
yeah, me too. I don't think he's going anywhere.
Yeah. And I had this whole...
as long as you don't come to New York.
Yeah, I had a whole dissertation about Kyrie, but I cut it down to 30 seconds. Kyrie ain't coming anyway.
Nah, forget Kyrie.
Yeah, but yeah. That's our show. Yo, I'm sorry, yo, Fritz, we just took over your whole time. Fritz, you had anything else to say? Fritz says that I'm out. All right, my bad, Fritz. Shout out to the best mod in the game, my guy, Fritz. All right, but that is our show. And shout out to everybody in the chat: D, Nice, B, Civilized, Eddie, Kerry Cox, Castle King Revel, Rodcom Taylor, Lifestyles of the Savvy Saver, Eddie, everybody else rock with the KLT show. Thank you for coming. And you know what? I forgot. Raw, let them know where they can find you, sir.
Raw Hebrew Remnant on YouTube. Raw Hebrew Remnant on Twitter. and every once in a while, Knick of Time Show.
There you go. Roll on Knick Of Time Show. Also find him there. Definitely check out his YouTube channel because he be dropping some fire. All right. All right. Ryan, where can they find you, sir?
You can find me on Instagram at Sir G is chilling.
Sir G is chilling.
That's SIRG is CHILLIN. You can also find me, Sir G's Corner, working on some content, and also on Twitter at RyanGKOT. And also, I want to make an announcement. You know, I got my financial agent license, so if you need help with your financing, if you need help securing your financial future, just shoot me a DM on Instagram, and we can set that up.
Sir G will help you out.
All right.
Yes,
All right. Sir G with the money. $1 bill, y'all. Let me hold $20. All right. Cool. All right, y'all. You can find us at the KOT Show on Twitter, the Knick Of Time Show on Instagram, and Knick Of Time Show on Facebook. Listen to us on SoundCloud, Spotify, iTunes, Uplay, and Stitcher, and everywhere you listen to podcasts. Also, get that merch, KOT Snapbacks, at nicktimeshow.com. Also, read our articles, and so on and so on. All right. That is our show. Great show, guys. Yo, man, draft is coming up Thursday. I'm going to be here.
Dang, I'm gonna be on a plane, but I'm gonna be watching it.
Got you.
Yes, sir.
So we gonna chill, kick it with us, man. Draft show. All right. That is all. And as always,
shout out the World Wide West. Everywhere we go, we leave a worldwide mess.
It's a mess out here in these YouTube Knicks streets. We are out of here.
Peace.
Peace.